Crashing into this world of horror, a beautiful woman and three adventurers dare to challenge the unknown in a land where life and love is ruled by the Lord of Nightmares, the Cyclops.
Susan, it's me, Russ. What happened? How did you get here?
And then it came toward me.
What came toward you?
The eye!
Yet their fate rests in the death-defying courage of a beautiful girl.
My name is Susan. Susan Winters.
He's looking at her.
Can you hear me?
Here is nature gone mad, revealing an unbelievable world of terror. A world mastered by a monstrous mutation, the spawn of nuclear fury. Here is a weird, suspense-filled
reaches out from forgotten centuries, and a horror legend 2,000 years old comes alive as a hideous demon rises from the grave to bring a new high in horror to the motion picture screen. The Vampire and the Ballerina. No one is safe from this monster of the night, this creature from the crypt of the living dead, who stalks the countryside in search of victims for his insatiable bloodlust. The Vampire and the Ballerina. Into the evil domain of the Vampire King comes a company of beautiful dancers. And the most desirable of them all is the ballerina. Helpless in the grip of his satanic power that brings everlasting enslavement to her soul. The screen has never reached such heights of fright, such soul-shivering suspense, such heart-stopping horror. You will remember for always the startling, haunting motion picture, The Vampire and the Ballerina.
Come in. Come closer. Closer. That's right. I'm Vincent Price. You'll be just as safe in this house of fear as any of the other 5 victims murdered by the Bat. In all of the annals of mystery, there's never been a more elusive, fearsome, and cunning killer. He'll lure you through hidden passages to make you his next victim. But nobody lives forever, so why be afraid of the Bat?
How long's he been dead?
Oh, I'd say about a half an hour. You believe it was the Bat?
That's a Bat's trademark.
Perhaps he's still in the house.
That's possible.
It says here that the Bat never leaves no fingerprints.
That's understandable. Having no face, he probably has no fingers either.
The Bat is waiting for you.
Take the girl to my quarters.
Janet's car? Yeah. There's not a trace of it. Let me loose. Do you hear me?
You will be soon as big as a giant. Or, like all the others, dead.
Break trail with 4 men and a girl to the territory of the killer beast. 4 men who live by killing.
A girl who has experienced so much that only sadistic brutality can thrill her. Vicious and violent men, attempting the most daring of daylight robberies, enjoying midnight revelries, until one orgy turns into a nightmare of terror. Ride the ski lift to the very top in thrills.
What I saw you wouldn't believe.
Watch men who deal in death, meet and fight. The invincible beast from Haunted Cave.
Go back. Go back.
I've come to help you.
You can't help now.
Gentlemen, we are witnessing a biological chain reaction. A geometrical progression of deadly menace.
It had started casually, insignificantly, as momentous events often do.
Look there. 2 points off the port bow.
The giant behemoth, the fire-spitting monster predicted in the Bible, its core a mass of lethal radiation. Rising from the depths of time, its strength enormous, its gargantuan ferocity a threat to London, to the world itself.
We must find a way of destroying this creature in one piece.
Judging by the beast's size, I would say it was powerful enough to drive a battleship.
Of course, its tremendous electric charge is what projects the radiation. That's what makes the creature so deadly.
Have you any concrete suggestions? Yes. First, block off the Thames.
Answer it, Jake. What was that? What do you intend to do?
First of all, find the man who killed my father.
Does it say anything else?
No. What do you want me to do? Just a minute. Something's happened to the light.
Hello. Hello, Holt speaking. Get this through to the hue and cry. Wanted for murder. Dr. Orloff, 48, hair graying, blue eyes.
What the hell are we looking for? I see it. Above and ahead of me. I'm trying to close in for a better look.
Here is the real flying saucer story. You will see with your own eyes actual motion pictures of flying saucers. Scenes that were stamped top secret by the Pentagon. These films have never before been shown to the general press and public. These men are about to see actual motion pictures of flying saucers. You will see them too in unidentified flying objects. You'll meet the men who lived every terrifying moment of the flying saucer story as it actually happened and is still happening. This is Captain Willis Sperry, an airline pilot, giving an official account of his sighting of unknowns.
The object was flying head-on at us. It was 50 times the magnitude of the brightest star.
Warrant Officer Clement Newhouse, chief photographer, U.S. Navy, who filmed a group of flying objects in Utah.
How would you describe these objects? They had a metallic appearance. They seem to be made of some kind of polished metal, like two saucers, one inverted over the other.
Red Dog 1 to Washington Control.
We are in the radar room at National Airport, Washington, D.C. on July 26, 1952. For the first time, unidentified flying objects have been sighted over the nation's capital.
I see them. They're all around me. They're moving in on me. They're coming closer. They're coming right at me.
A tidal wave of terror engulfs the screen as a raging monster from the dawn of creation attacks the world of man.
Here, gentlemen, is your villa. We take an enormous number of those to disable a Navy submarine.
Or just one of enormous size, Mr. Chase.
I see they picked an atom sub to go out and fight this thing. Why is that, Commander?
Could be because of the new electronic equipment, or her speed.
Was she ordered back here from Hawaii just for that?
That's right. Think it's as bad as that, do you? I think we're lucky she's here.
The H-bomb blasted it loose from the depths of the Pacific. But not even the H-bomb can kill it.
Unknown object coming this way. Entering minefield. Stand by, number 38, mine.
Fire!
Hold up. Ready, number 12, south.
Fire!
Coming on through.
That's the end of our first line of defense, Miss Joyce.
Then the red alert.
coast reels under Holocaust as the men and weapons of the atomic age battle to the death against the ageless monster of the deep.
Down there.
Great was the curse laid upon it. Great was the evil power granted it. Buried for 400 years, it still lives. Stare into these eyes if you dare, for every woman that does becomes a willing slave to the thing that couldn't die.
You're not the same girl you were yesterday.
Yesterday I was trying to do what was right. I was afraid. But I'm not afraid anymore.
And every man becomes a monster.
There's another casket buried somewhere on the ranch, Jessica, and Mr. Ash has promised us $5,000 if we can find it.
Isn't it enough that 2 men are dead? Do the rest of you want to die too?
Greed had made them unearth a monstrous evil centuries old. Now they, and they alone, had to face the consequences.
Frighten me when you talk like that.
It's true. I've discovered a power that's going to make you the most feared man on earth.
This is the closed-circuit television set focused on the test area, isn't it?
Yes.
And these buildings and equipment have been placed in the desert for destruction by the atom blast?
That's right.
Would you all kindly watch the screen?
What you have just seen me do to that one small area, I can do to a city, a nation, or a continent.
Gentlemen, I'm convinced I saw him wipe out a city of concrete and steel by some power of mind. And my advice to you and to your governments is to take what this man says as a most serious matter.
Any country I have mentioned which does not have a representative here present in this room will find its capital city wiped out.
Rocket ship headed 35 million miles away through space. And then suddenly, radio contact was broken, and the world believed it to be forever lost. But strangely and unaccountably, these space travelers had crashed the time barrier into the inconceivable world of the year 2508. This was an awesome world, ravaged by atomic radiation, inhabited by mutated monsters lusting to kill. Look out!
couldn't stop it, Doc. I couldn't stop it!
Put your guns away. Anyone who could box us in like this could kill us just as easily.
And underground, the fantastic cities of a new race, with its vital and beautiful women, hungry for the virile love of the Earthmen.
You're like the great men we read about. Strong, brave, unselfish.
You will be put out of our tunnel. You will be given food and water. You will have neither more nor less than you had when you came here.
That's the equivalent of a death sentence.
Was this the world they were forever destined to live in? Was there a way, terrible and frightening, back to the age in which we live?
Reverse rockets! I can't feed 58 miles per second!
Roger Moore is James Bond, 007, in Ian Fleming's Live and Let Die.
My name's Bond.
James Bond. Names is for tombstones, baby. Waste him, now.
James Bond is back, and wherever he drops in, it can mean only one thing.
Trouble!
This is the Bond adventure with more excitement, more action, more danger, and more. Much more. Roger Moore as James Bond, 007. .007 is on a worldwide manhunt. The body count is going up. And where Bond stops to visit, he leaves his mark. On everything.
They'll kill you.
They will kill us. Love is lesson number 2. Togetherness.
Is there time before we leave for lesson number 3?
Absolutely.
Seat and hang on.
If any man can show just cause where they might not lawfully be joined together.
Because Bond is on the move. And if you miss this one, you'll miss the most exciting 007 adventure of them all.
Beyond this gate, from beyond this portal, comes the spirit of a madman.
What in the name of God? What did he do to make this house so evil?
Murder, vampirism, cannibalism, drug addiction, alcoholism, sadism, mutilation.
How did it end?
If it had ended, we would not be here.
Not since Rosemary's Baby have you witnessed such a desperate struggle between good and evil. The living, possessed by the dead, and the furious battle of exorcism. Pamela Franklin.
Barry's inside me. Even as I'm speaking to you, I can feel him just waiting in there to take over.
Roddy McDowell.
The house tried to kill me. It almost succeeded.
Clive Revel.
I don't accept this. I do not accept this.
Gail Honeycutt.
Naked. Drunk. Fighting. Oh, please get me out of here.
The spirits of the dead can indeed possess the human body.
Lawrence.
A nightmare within a nightmare. The legend of Hell House. For the sake of your sanity, pray it isn't true.
Come, my darlings, to the greatest blood show on earth. 15 years ago, they thought they killed the demon, but he's been waiting to kill them.
15 years, Cousin Mitterhaus. But now we are here to free you. To give you life.
But must they all die?
All. There is proof. Terrifying proof.
You will live. Your children will die. To give me back my life.
Human fangs ripping throats. And to add to the blood feast is yet another vampire tale. Mirror on the wall. Who is the most terrifying of them all? The Countess Dracula. Blood. Johnny! The more she drinks, the prettier she gets. The prettier she gets, the thirstier she gets.
Oh, me?
No. Blood. Whose blood?
Look at me, Dopey. Look at me.
And what will your daughter say? She arrives tomorrow, and she'll find you as young as she is.
Say it, Lovely. Say it.
Yes, I love you. Yes.
Do her lovers know how she clings to you? Dare she tell them the dreadful truth?
Does such a woman exist? You know she does.
The Countess Dracula and Vampire Circus, the greatest blood show on earth.
Suddenly, a man dies at the controls of a train. Suddenly, a car swerves to destruction. Suddenly, a plane dives to death. The earth dies screaming. Suddenly, death descends on the four corners of the earth, and only a handful of human beings survive to live in fear, powerless to combat an unknown terror.
Turn it off.
Who are you? That a way I'm not the enemy? I don't know who the enemy is.
The earth dies screaming, and the robots take over. Starring Willard Parker, Virginia Field. Dennis Price.
You said that she was dead.
She was. She was alive enough tonight. Except her eyes.
Well, what was the matter with them?
She hasn't got any eyes.
Here is paralyzing suspense as the Earth dies screaming. Electrifying terror as the Earth dies screaming.
Jeff!
Peggy! Peggy!
The robots.
Peggy!
Nobody goes to that island. Not in their right mind.
Why do you say that?
I don't say it, it's what the natives say. What they have been saying for the last 50 years. They say nobody ever goes there and comes back.
The voodoo curse strikes at all who are drawn there by the lure of gold. Look out!
Ashes. Maybe they're not ashes from a fire. Maybe they're ashes of a different kind.
Black magic cast its darkest spell, turning it into a jungle of overpowering evil.
He held these beautiful maidens captive in his jungle of death, a power-mad genius who changed them into horrible creatures of another world. Then 3 strangers stumbled upon his green hell. 2 men and a lovely girl who held civilization's last chance to halt this all-devouring evil. Could they stop all this terror,
Could they stop this madman who turned these lovely maidens into half women, half beast she-demons? For terror that has no equal, for excitement that never lets up, see this explosion of frightening fury that flames into a motion picture experience you will never forget.
Incredible it may seem, but today, in 20th century America, there still exist the evil ones who call upon the black arts of Satan to bring back the spirits of the dead.
Once you have accepted the possibility of everything, then we'll bring your sister back. But once you have crossed the barrier, there is no turning back.
And out of the eternal shadows came the ruthless spirit of Felicia to take over the mind, the heart, the lovely body of a living girl, and use it without shame to win back all that death had taken from her husband.
I've come back to you, Dickon. Felicia's come back.
Her father.
I love my daughter in spite of the evil in her. But she's been dead for 6 years. I don't want her back. Not this way.
Her mother.
You want to go on living a useful, happy life. I'm warning you to go away and do not come back. I'm not afraid of you.
Even her sister. For Felicia had come back to Earth to destroy everything that stood in her evil path.
Black leather, smash, smash, smash. Black leather, crash, crash, crash. Black leather, kill, kill, kill. I got that black leather rock.
Animals dressed as human beings. Smash, smash, smash. A game for the wild ones, played with the passion of the damned. Chop!
Don't ever do that again, Joni.
I'll do what I like, King.
Do you think I'll let a man put his dirty hands on you?
People fleeing for their lives, leaving one hell for another. Escaping from what? From who? What goes on behind these barbed wires? Who and what do these ferocious dogs guard? And who are these children? Where do they come from? To whom do they belong?
Before you get yourself excited, King, touch the little boy's face.
He's dead, I tell you! Fear so real that you can touch it. Terror so sinister that it makes the flesh creep. These are the people who become one with the damned. The rich American on an English vacation. The beautiful girl, decoy for a gang of thugs, more sinned against than sinning. The Swedish artist, who chiseled strange shapes out of stone. And the scientist with a secret, who fought the shape of things to come.
I hate your secrets, Bernard.
If I were to tell you even a little bit about what you call my secrets, I might be condemning you to death.
Why are you doing this? What's it all for? What are you trying to make out of these children? Answer me. Will you answer me?
This is the cave of the living dead. Behind the black mouth of the cursed cave lurk the unfleshed, and dangers beyond belief for all who seek to illuminate its supernatural mysteries. This is the cave of the living dead, from which furies, driven by the frenzy of a 200-year-old curse, murder by moonlight, leaving the mark of the vampire on the young girls they claim for their own. Girls who become blood sisters, forever doomed to serve such inhuman forces of evil as must be commanded by the devil himself.
Let's get him up.
The town is paralyzed by fear as its loveliest daughters fall prey to the unspeakable horrors of the unfleshed.
A vampire!
You'll see the unexplainable, the unimaginable, the undead in the Cave of the Living Dead.
Expecting us?
Join this international trio in a real-gone, interworld escapade.
Have you ever seen a head pursued by a body?
No, sir.
Well, I have. It's horrible.
Sir, would you mind posing just the way you are? Come on, let's get out of here.
I'm coming, you three.
You forbid all you like. You can't scare me. I'm leaving now.
When this cool cat gets ghost-frozen stiff, this hepcat moves in to make time. But a ghostly chaperone breaks it up.
Don't, Charles, don't!
Help yourself to a castle full of fear-filled fun.
Look out!
An unbelievable adventure into the realm of the unreal. The Headless Ghost. He's your host. Enjoy the carnal pleasures of people long gone.
Hello, police headquarters? This is Carter, Johnny Carter.
Oh, sure, they're from another planet.
What a dilemma for young lovers Steve Terrell and Gloria Castillo.
He thought I was kidding him.
Nobody will believe the invasion of the Saucer Men. All this makes it seem natural for a beer-drinking bull to appoint himself chaperone of Lover's Lane.
Hey, for Pete's sake!
And a farmer with the longest shotgun you've ever seen plays the villain.
What's so funny?
Well, I expected to be frightened on my wedding night, but nothing like this.
It's our busy night, too. We've been flooded with calls from people who say they've seen flying saucers and little green monsters. I wonder how that rumor ever got started.
It's too fantastic to believe.
Just think of it. Only this special unit and the President of the United States will know what happened here tonight.
You mean you think we know what's happened?
look at those great, big, beautiful babes.
We're here on your Earth as a scientific investigating team.
Hey, baby, you're really out of this world.
As scientists, these girls are way ahead of us. For instance, in the raising of Vegemen, gigantic, man-like robots with fantastic strength. And the things the girls don't know, they're willing to learn.
Let me take you away from all this, my chérie.
Haven't you ever heard of love? Show me.
The gags and laughs come fast and furious in this fun-filled battle of the sexes.
One of us ought to go back and warn the Colonel. You don't think he's going to believe the story about galaxy gals and guys growing in flower pods?
If you would, in the interest of science, you understand, kiss an Earthman.
Stand by for a charge, baby.
What are you? Alex, a native of the planet Mars. Perhaps not quite a human being by earthly standards. The orbit of our planet Mars is so far from the sun that climatic and atmospheric conditions there are much inferior to those on Earth. We can construct an H-bomb which, when detonated at the correct time and position, will alter the rotation of a planet enough to change its orbit to any extent we desire.
You propose to move Mars into the same orbit as the Earth?
Exactly.
Their diabolical scheme seems sure of success until Larry Martin is called upon.
And so, Larry Martin, we direct you to use all means at your command to rid the Earth of these horrible zombies. We're informed that another of their rockets is now approaching Earth.
Is there time to intercept it with your rocket?
No, at the rate that ship is traveling, it'll be out of radar range before we can get off the ground.
Unless it lands.
Then ground defense will handle it, Bob. Unless Mr. Steele thinks we can help.
Yes, Larry, I do. It is the duty of my department to handle all matters menacing world security. And you're one of my executives. I realize that your work has usually been in the interplanetary zone. In this case, I think you ought to take charge, both on land and in the air.
Very well. There he is. On target. Steady as she goes. Firing ray gun.
Republic brings you winged adventure in a story which could be all too true. Satan's Satellites.
Empire, all living things are my prey. The undead are my allies. The night is my domain, and the dark, dank tomb my dwelling place. I feast on human blood. May be yours, so beware. Beware.
Brand new, all new, the return of Dracula. From beyond the grave comes the dreaded Dracula, spreading corruption and horror wherever his cursed shadow falls. Innocent beauty becomes the vampire's prey, as paralyzing fear turns to hypnotic fascination.
You will do as I say.
Yes.
I bring you death, a living death. One drop of your blood and you're bound to me. Jenny Blake's soul must be freed, Doctor. And all those souls of her victims, if any.
But how?
With a pointed stake right through the heart.
co-workers are usurping the glory and the credit for an invention that is rightfully mine. For that reason, I am forced to destroy you.
Control unit, too.
Put that receiver down.
You say Professor Arnold left here quite a while ago?
Yes, indeed.
Then his hat must have blown back in through the window.
Mind if I smoke?
The night holds terror, an evil reborn from the grave of Frankenstein, bringing a macabre nightmare to a teenage world of rock and roll emotions. For the first time, a female descendant of the infamous Frankenstein, deadlier, more terrifying than ever before. He needed her kiss to satisfy his desire, but he wanted her soul for the fiendish creation that was to rule the earth in terror.
I'm sure of one thing. You better hurry before the brain cells are damaged completely.
Frankenstein's daughter.
Now everything was ready. Who would be his first victim? Who will feel the cold sting of death?
Kill him! Call her off. Don't make me shoot. Go ahead and shoot. You can't even feel it. Kill him! Back! Get back! Kill him!
For the most suspenseful and gripping moments you have ever spent, see this masterpiece of Scream a Second Terror. You will never forget it.
You've lost the urge to experiment.
Oh, every time you touch me, I go out of my mind. I die.